Hello, today I'll be talking about Hubble Space Telescope. Recently, Hubble Space Telescope occupied the news when NASA switched it to backup hardware on July 15, 2021 to compensate for a problem with the original payload computer that occurred on June 13 when the computer halted suspending science data collection. The switch included bringing online the backup power control unit and the backup command unit science data formatter on the other side of the science instrument and command and data handling unit. Power control unit distributes power to the science instrument and command and data handling components, and command unit science data formatter sends and formats commands and data. They monitored the hardware by starting the recovery of science instruments out of their safe mode configuration and ran various procedures to ensure that the instruments were at stable temperatures. NASA returned the science instruments to operational status and the collection of science data resumed on July 17, 2021. The NASA Hubble Space Telescope is a project of international cooperation between NASA and ESA. Aura's Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore, Maryland, conducts Hubble science operations. It was named after the astronomer Edwin Powell Hubble, who made some of the most important discoveries in modern astronomy. His greatest discovery came in 1929 when Hubble determined that the farther a galaxy is from Earth, the faster it appears to move away. This notion of an expanding universe formed the basis of the Big Bang theory, which states that the universe began with an intense burst of energy at a single moment in time and has been expanding ever since. Hubble is a Cassegrain telescope, a type of reflecting telescope. Light enters the telescope and strikes the large primary or main mirror. The light is then reflected from the primary mirror onto the secondary mirror, which then focuses the light back through a hole in the primary mirror to a point behind that mirror where the science instruments are located. Hubble's primary mirror is 94.5 inches in diameter. Hubble was launched aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery on April 24, 1990. It was deployed into the orbit the following day. When launched, its primary objectives were to investigate the constitution, physical characteristics, and dynamics of celestial bodies, determine the nature of processes occurring in stellar and galactic objects, study the history and evolution of the universe, confirm universality of physical laws, and to provide a long-term space research facility for optical astronomy. Hubble orbits the Earth at an altitude of about 340 miles, inclined 28.5 degrees to the equator. This vantage point is above the negative effects of Earth's atmosphere. Shifting pockets of air in Earth's atmosphere distort light from space. That's why stars seem to twinkle when viewed from the ground. The atmosphere also blocks some wavelengths of light, partially or entirely, particularly ultraviolet light. This makes space the only place where a telescope can get a truly clear and comprehensive view of the universe. Although Hubble also sees visible and infrared light, it is the telescope's capability in the ultraviolet that will not be matched or replaced in the near future. Hubble's current suite of instruments include the Wide Field Camera 3, Cosmic Urgence Spectrograph, Advanced Camera for Surveys, Space Telescope Imaging Spectrograph, and Fine Guidance Sensors. These are not the only instruments that are flown aboard Hubble. The telescope was designed to be visited periodically by astronauts who brought new instruments and technology and made repairs from December 1993 to May 2009. Hubble is more scientifically productive today than at any time in its past, and NASA plans to operate Hubble at least well into this new decade. Hubble's longevity is partly due to its multiple servicing missions, the last one being in 2009. That was when astronauts installed a new device, the soft capture mechanism, to allow a robotic spacecraft to attach itself to Hubble someday, once the telescope is at the end of its life, and guide its descent to Earth or boosted to a higher orbit. That's all for now. Thank you for watching.